Hi, you are on the Image Game channel. In this video, I will talk about the 15 most interesting, in our opinion, indie games of 2023. And I'll start with Dark and Darker, is a first-person RPG that puts you in the shoes of an adventurer on a treasure hunt, in the depths of an ancient, abandoned citadel. Here we will be able to team up, explore numerous levels in search of loot, fight against monster opponents or other players. The main feature of Dark and Darker is the need to return to the hub with the loot, which is not so easy under the onslaught of the remaining opponents and other players. Ravenbound is an open-world fantasy action roguelike. The game takes place in a world inspired by Scandinavian folklore. The main character is a vessel containing a powerful weapon created by the gods. His goal is to rid the world of dark forces. The game has a huge open world. You can explore it on foot or in flight. Here you can meet various fabulous creatures, not only melee weapons, but also powerful magic will help in the battle with them. One of the important mechanics is drawing up a card deck. You can use cards that give cool equipment, weapons, and magic. But first you have to pull them out. System Shock 2023 is a remake of the legendary first-person shooter with RPG elements and cyberpunk style. The game takes us to the year 2072, where all the resources on Earth are almost depleted. One of the corporations is building orbital stations for mining on other planets, but at one of the running stations, artificial intelligence goes crazy and turns the entire staff into hostile mutants. The player in the role of a hacker will have to fight in an unequal battle, fighting both in reality and in cyberspace. The remake is created with the participation of the developers of the first game, including a concept artist, and, according to the authors, will retain the spirit of the original. Bramble, the Mountain King, is an action-adventure platformer with horror elements in a dark fantasy setting. In the game, we have to go to a world created based on the Old Norse folklore, in which beautiful landscapes, mythical creatures, and giant bosses await you. The latter are by no means childish: giant monsters, ghosts, The Walking Dead, and many others. On top of that, you will have to solve all sorts of puzzles. The plot tells about a boy who goes to the forest in search of his missing sister. Kerbal Space Program 2 is the sequel to a fun sci-fi simulation based on the real laws of physics. In the game, you need to create a space program, build a powerful spaceship, design colonies to collect resources, and much more to uncover the secrets of the galaxy. A host of exciting sequel features will enchant veterans and new players alike. Animated tutorials, an improved user interface, and completely redesigned building and flight instructions make it easy for experienced and novice players alike to test their creativity. Teslagrad 2 is the sequel to the atmospheric side-scrolling action platformer set in a sci-fi setting. The sequel is also a Metroidvania and has a lot of riddles and puzzles. Events will develop in a region called Wormheim, inspired by the culture of the Vikings. We will go on a dangerous adventure, exploring a giant abandoned tower that rises above the valley on the banks of the fjord in order to return the heroine home to her family. House Flipper 2 is the sequel to the renovation simulator in which we take on the role of a master repairing crumbling houses. Having at our disposal a variety of tools and supplies, we have to turn a dilapidated structure into a beautiful and modern mansion that can be sold on the real estate market at the highest price. The number of different mechanics and features in House Flipper 2 has increased compared to the first part. Graphics and environment detail have also improved. There are more opportunities for the restoration of houses, while the tasks have also become more diverse and interesting. We clean the dust, paint the walls, wash the windows, glue the wallpaper, arrange the furniture and sell the finished project. It sounds boring, but in fact this is one of the most sticky and interesting simulators. Trinity Fusion is a fantasy action platformer where you take control of your parallel variations on a mission to save the multiverse. We have to explore dark sci-fi worlds and take part in dynamic battles using special weapons and various skills. All this happens at procedurally generated levels, as well as manually created tests and arenas. Sons of Valhalla is an adventure side-scroller with elements of strategy and pixel art. In the center of the plot is the story of a powerful Viking. He has to go to the conquest of England. In parallel, he pursues a personal goal to save his beloved. The gameplay is based on historical events. We will have to develop our base and forts to protect resources, raise an army and besiege enemy fortresses. Pumping is carried out in between battles. You can prepare warriors for the next battle. You can build villages, collect resources, train warriors, and expand your lands. Being a barbarian requires you to raid and plunder cities. Planet of LANA is a platform adventure game set in a colorful world full of soulless machines and unknown creatures. The planet, which used to be a place of serene balance between man, nature, and animals, has now become something completely different. Centuries of dissension have created a faceless army, disrupting the natural order of things. But this is not a war story. This is a story about a picturesque, beautiful planet and a journey to keep it that way. We will go on a rescue mission together with the main character of the game and her faithful companion. We will solve puzzles of varying complexity, fight and learn the details of a grandiose story stretching through galaxies and centuries. Afterimage is a hand-drawn 2D action-adventure game that emphasizes fast-paced combat, diverse characters, non-linear levels, and a compelling story set in the ruins of a fantasy world. According to the plot, years after the cataclysm called the Rout, which almost put an end to human civilization, mystical forces suddenly attacked the remaining settlements of mankind. Eager to investigate these attacks, an amnesiac girl named Renee said goodbye to her ruined village and embarked on a journey to discover the truth, inexplicably setting in motion a series of events that would determine the fate of the new world. Europa is an adventure game dedicated to the peaceful exploration of Jupiter's terraformed moon Europa. Android is the main character. Here we will explore the open world, solving mysteries in the ruins of Utopia and learning the story of the last man alive. Europa is a calm game about adventure, exploration, and meditation. As you travel around the world, you will gradually improve the capabilities of your jetpack until you can freely soar in the sky. Wizard with a Gun is a co-op online survival sandbox game set in a magical wilderness filled with dangerous creatures and mysterious mysteries. You can go on a difficult journey alone, or in the company of friends, to explore the unknown world in order to collect, craft, and equip your wizard. Nine Souls is an action platformer with an interesting story-driven story and combat system inspired by Fearless Samurai. The protagonist travels across a fantasy land in search of 9 souls, which he must destroy. Once upon a time, these cruel rulers stood at the head of this kingdom, but after a long and bloody war, they fell into oblivion. Now they are awakening in order to again suffer a crushing defeat and die from the sword of a samurai knight. Each battle with these dangerous demons is unique in its own way, and victory will require all available skills and resources. Blight Survival is a cooperative medieval action game with elements of horror and roguelite. The action takes place in an alternative 14th century on Earth between two desperate states waging an ongoing war. From the remains of the dead, a new strain of fel emerged. Strengthened by spilled blood, it spreads rapidly, turning people into monsters. In the game, a team of 4 players will find themselves on a huge map filled with secrets and bloodthirsty monsters. Gamers will have to explore the lands devastated by the war, look for trophies, rob and kill. Weapons and armor can be customized to suit your playstyle. That's all. Image Game Channel was with you. Bye.